I am, and I don't mind who knows it, a massive Saga fan. Now, some people could say, that's a bit of a guilty pleasure. It's just a pleasure. And I've been lucky enough over the years to interview both Ian Crichton and Michael Sadler, both of whom were lovely, for one of my other roles, which is writing for magazines, music mags. Bit of a hack, you see. And although I really love their work, I have never seen them live. Now, is it just me? And I could look this up, but I can't be bothered. Have they not appeared in the UK that often? But also, I've not seen them very often live on video. Is it still called video? Can we still call it video? You know, clips on YouTube and that kind of thing. So, when the algorithms suggested that I might like to look at Saga in Dortmund 1981, I thought, oh yes, that's exactly what I want to do. And it is really interesting because I've never seen them live, so I don't quite know how this is set up. And it's at the time, of course, that moment when Wildest Dreams was out, and they were, I suppose, at the height of their popularity. It's, first of all, let me say, Michael Sadler, and I'd forgotten this because he is the great vocalist, of course, but more than that, I didn't realise this. But anyway, I'd forgotten that for a period he had an extraordinary tash. And he's got a big curly hair here. One almost might say it's a perm. I don't think it is. Oh, by the way, you know, I'm aware that Michael's going through some health issues at the moment. And I really hope that things are okay, because when I interviewed him, he was a lovely, intelligent, sweet bloke. And his work's fabulous too. But he's got what one could say is a perm. It does seem like it might be natural, and the tash is certainly natural. He's done nothing with it. Now, I've got a big tash, but I do put tash wax on it to curl it up. He does nothing with it, so it's massive. It's curling over his lips, or his top lip. Actually, it's so big it could be curling over his bottom lip as well. I suspect that when he has his lunch, he could have a snack at about 4 o'clock, because his tash would have gathered so much of the food. It's extraordinary. I thought, how are you eating? How are you breathing with that? Well, probably through the nose, of course, being more fit than I am, fitter than I am. However, I'd forgotten that, and that took away a bit from the first rather nervous, well, not nervous actually, no, nervous is the wrong word, rather uncomfortable interview that takes place with what looks to be a German VJ, video jock. It's that kind of time, isn't it, when MTV was coming and all that sort of thing. And he asks the questions in German, then English, then ask the questions in English, they then will reply, and then he will translate them into German. But it's all a bit, what's your favourite colour? It's a bit like that. But the lads don't seem to want to be loquacious. So you know, do you like it in Germany? I like German beer, that's for certain. But I suppose they're inviting the host to chat with them, and the host doesn't seem that sure actually, because he doesn't even know who plays what in the band. He asked Ian what he plays. I think he thinks he plays bass. And he said, no, I'm the guitarist. He then is very nicely directs him to who does play bass. You know, it's a bit odd. Really odd. That'll be Jim Crichton on bass, by the way. I mean, he's not the only one on bass on this show, because he will double on keyboards. More of that in a minute. When they start here it's an enormous crowd. That's got to be 50,000. Maybe less because it's indoors, but even so, it's blooming huge. And we start with Humble Stance. It sounds like it does on the album. It's so well done. The mix is great as well here. Beauty, it looks great. There's no colour bleed or anything like that. And Michael Sadler is on bass. I had never realised this. I'm a fan, but I'd never realised this. And it's not the only thing that, well, you know, Don't Be Late has, Silent Night, they mentioned that, of course, great album. All the albums are great, aren't they? Don't Be Late has a female vocal piped in, beautiful dramatic excellence with Michael on keys. So, they've already got a keyboard player in there. That'll be Jim Gilmore, won't it? And he's just sort of, but it's not as if he's just adding little bits. It looks like he's leading on those keyboards as well. They have Rostra for Rostrum as a singular, Rostra, several of them, for people to stand on and all that. Steve Negus as well has got an organic kit, shall we say, bigger kit, on the Rostra, on the riser, and then below that, an electronic, I'm not going to say Lin drum because it might not be, an electronic kit which is much smaller. Fabulous. I mean, we've got a moment where Michael Sadler, he looks under one of the Rostra, that's right, that's it, Rostra, and he says hello to someone who's on the crew who hands him a briefcase. He opens that and there are electronic drums in there as well. So he has a go, it's called briefcase, this little bit, and he has an electronic drum and organic drum battle with so Godsmack, we're not the first to do it, you see, with Steve Negus. It's fabulous. You're Not Alone is incredibly perky. Crowd, that they want them to sing along, but the crowd just starts singing. You're not. It's great. They don't need to be told. Beautiful. We have Wind Him Up with a more kind of traditional Sadler dancing around and, you know, going to each of the bandmates in turn. The great thing he does is he just wants to have a connection with them. He wants to have a look. He wants to have a laugh. He wants to have a little chat. He wants to be with them. He dances to them. He does it. It's great. Really good. And we've got an encore with Too Much to Lose, which is a huge poppy feel. But this is just fabulous. It's a band who are multi-instrumentalists, but Sadler, it's like he's a one-man show. I mean, you've got Mr. Gilmore who's really leaning into those and leaning back and really throwing shapes with his guitar. It's beautifully done. But the main focus is Mr. Sadler, because he's on bass and synths and electric drums and vocals. Blimey. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke the set down and swept up after. Fabulous. And all the time keeping a fantastic composure and seemingly not to break a sweat. It's so well done. They're playing so well together. They're brilliant musicians with great music. They believe in that music. So do the crowd, who are absolutely ecstatic throughout. This is brilliant. Oh, and with that, my pizza's ready. Ta-ta.